A very good morning to Sir Rizal and to everyone. Today, my group and I will be presenting on sociology of education. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'm Yosin Harisha and I'll be presenting on the introduction part. So what we'll be talking about is on the underprivileged children, and we'll be focusing mainly on the B40 community. So here it says that education remains a key pathway to success in the 21st century. So yeah. So in the 21st century. So meaning that education is something that is very important, especially in our current times. However, equal access to education is still uneven across communities, meaning that there are a lot of people who actually don't have equal opportunities to study. And underprivileged children, especially those from Malaysia's B40 group, face the greatest barriers. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, which is specifically on the B40 communities in our country. Next slide, please. Okay. So many families, especially from the B40 communities, as I've mentioned, they tend to live in remote or rural areas where schools and resources are limited. So they rarely have access to schools that are doing well and also resources which are needed for education. So the common issues that they have would include unstable household income, limited access to digital devices and the internet, home environments that don't support learning, and also that these factors can also reduce students' ability to keep up academically. Next slide, please. Yeah. So about the B40 households, these are the kind of communities that actually earn below 5,250 ringgit monthly, which causes them to have financial difficulties. So we have three main groups, financial groups in Malaysia, which are B40, M40, and T20. So for M40 and T20, these are the slightly higher groups compared to B40. But B40 students have fewer learning materials and poorer school infrastructure due to their backgrounds. Transportation difficulties and non-conducive learning spaces further affect attendance and performance. But transportation, meaning like when they want to go to school, they might have difficulties finding transportation because they can't afford cars and also other form of transportation. And non-conducive learning spaces would mean that they find it difficult to actually study in their own homes and because of many factors like internet issues and so on. And the students who go through these issues often feel discouraged, leading to absenteeism or disengagement. Next slide, please. So many B40 learners show strong abilities, especially in TVET pathways. So TVET actually stands for Technical and Vocational Education and Training. And their academic struggles are often tied to external barriers rather than a lack of ability, meaning that they actually struggle because of their surroundings and not because of themselves. And limited school facilities and unequal treatment restrict opportunities for growth. Next slide, please. Okay, finally, to examine the concept of equal education opportunity in Malaysia, this is important because education in Malaysia should be something that is equal. So for all three communities, which is B40, M40, and T20, should have equal access to education. And assess government initiatives aimed at improving access for B40 students, for students who are underprivileged and are unable to go through and have the education that they want. It should be the government should actually give them access and certain things to help them be able to continue with the education. Highlight the role of other stakeholders such as NGOs, community groups, private sectors in supporting underprivileged learners, and present critical reflections on the current state of education for disadvantaged students and to actually help them, especially the B40 community when it is needed for them the most. That's all from me. I'll be passing on to the next person. Thank you very much.
A very good evening, sir. My name is Sri Abirami. Today I'll be talking about analysis of for equal access to education. So there's challenges in achieving equal access to education, which is the first one is equality versus equity. Equality means giving everyone the same thing. Meanwhile, equity means giving students the support they need depending on their situation. And in this situation, not all students start at the same level, with some face poverty, lack parental support, or don't have basic learning resources. So treating everyone the same doesn't always help. For the second one is unequal school resources. School in the cities usually have better facilities, materials, and qualified teachers. And rural school often suffer from low funding, old materials, and less trained teachers. Even if the curriculum is the same, students in poor conditions cannot learn at the same level as those with better resources. And third one is teachers' quality matters. Good teachers can greatly improve how students learn, especially those who struggle. But experienced teachers usually prefer to work in well-resourced urban schools and not in high-need rural areas. As a result, underprivileged schools face teacher shortage and high turnover, which affects learning. Next slide. Okay. And for analysis for equal access to education also includes to social and cultural bias. Okay, social culture and bias goes on students from minority groups, which comes from low income families or immigrant backgrounds, sometimes face prejudice. And this bias, whether intentionally or can affect their confidence, motivation, and sense of belonging in school. So schools should take action to make it more fair and multicultural policies to ensure every student feel included and respected. And number five, technology gap. Some students have internet laptops and proper to study place to study. Others may have no devices, weak internet, or noisy home environment. Online learning can actually increase inequality if schools don't ensure all students have the same access. And lastly, what helps ensure equal access? Students need support not only from school, but also from families, communities, and social programs like financial aid and internet access. Schools should focus on the well-being, diversity, and individual needs of learners too. And equity means removing barriers so every student has a real chance to succeed. So I'll pass it to the next person. Thank you.
My name is Suki Sori, and today I will present about the government's effort of equality, the government's effort for equality of educational opportunity. For the first one is government support for poor and vulnerable groups like B40, rural community, minority, and Orang Asli is that aims to overcome poverty, transportation issue, and lack of school supplies. This ensures students can attend school regularly and fairly. For the second, the government also helps in financial aid programs such as the KWAPM, which is Kumpulan Wang Amanah Pelajar Miskin, is a charity fund for poor students. BAP, Bantuan Awal Persekolahan, is also like early schooling aids or scholarship. This reduces family financial burden and lowers risk of dropout. So for the third one is food support for students, which is Rancangan Makanan Tambahan, RMT. They provide free meals to undernourished students and prevent hunger from affecting their learning. For the fourth one is government also provide higher education opportunities for special quotas for matriculation and asasi, like PTPTN, Mara scholarship, and tuition for fee exemption for B40. This ensure that students can continue studies despite financial challenges. For the fifth one is infrastructure and transport improvement. Government upgrade rural school in Sabah and Sarawak, which improve their electricity, water supply, and also school facilities. They also provided asrama desa or asrama harian for those students who live very far from school. Lastly, reducing the digital divide. Government provide programs such as Cerday that gives out laptop and internet access to students that don't have that kind of resources. They support equal learning opportunities for rural and also underfortunate students. That's all from me. I'm gonna pass it to the next person.
Hello, sir. Good evening. My name is Rabiha. So the next, I'm going to talk about the benefits from what Sukis just mentioned just now. So government initiatives that promote equal educational opportunities bring many positive outcomes for students, schools, and society as a whole. One major benefit is that all students, regardless of background, gain fair access to education. When policies prevent discrimination, students feel safer, more accepted, and more motivated to participate in schools. This creates an inclusive environment where everyone has chance to succeed. Another significant benefit is the reduction of financial barriers that often cause students to struggle or drop out. Through scholarships, meal programs, subsidized transport, and free learning materials, families face less financial stress. As a result, students from low income households can continue their education without worrying about basic needs, leading to better attendance and improved academic performance. So I'm passing to the next person.
A very good day to see result. My name is Swanset Lim, and now I'm going to be presenting about my part, which is the other education's stakeholders' effort for equality of educational opportunity. So for the first one is non-governmental organization, NGOs. So in NGOs, we have two organizations. Firstly, Teach for Malaysia. This organization hope to connect the educational divide by empowering young leaders to teach in under-resourced school. Their objective is to make changes to the whole education system. This is because they believe that every children in Malaysia deserve the chance to live a life they truly live. And to achieve that, quality education is the most powerful tool to achieve that. Other than that is My Readers. My Readers ensure underprivileged children have access to a quality education, and in order to do so, they have improved literacy across Malaysia. For example, focusing on providing sustainable reading support and developing effective and relevant resources in hope that every child will be able to read. Next slide, please. Next is international organization. There are also two of them. Number one is UNESCO and Commonwealth of Learning, COL. Both of them supported Malaysia's development of the National Inclusive Open Educational Resources, IOER policy. For example, the implementation roadmap in helping Malaysia align with international standards. They also hope to give every child equal chance to learn and success. Besides that, UNICEF also collaborates with local stakeholders to promote child-friendly schools and education for children with disabilities and those affected by COVID-19 pandemic. Next slide. And lastly, community-based initiative. For example, Partners of Community Organization. They manage 25 community learning centers and covered 148 villages with a total population of 50,000 from different indigenous ethnic groups. And in their website, they mention that all trainers are elders who are knowledgeable and proficient in traditional customs such as community native language. And by integrating local languages into classroom activities, it can be perceived as a way to boost motivation and cultural pride. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Good evening, Sir Lisa and everyone. I'm Julia, and today I'll be summarizing on the ongoing challenge of achieving fair education in Malaysia, especially for the students from the B40 income group. These students often face barriers such as financial hardships, limited access to digital tools, and unsupportive home environments, all of which hinder their academic progress. True equality in education isn't about giving every student the same resources. It's about equity, which is understanding that each student's unique background and providing the support they need to succeed. The Malaysian government has introduced several initiatives to bridge these gaps. Program like Bantuan Awal Persekolahan, Kumpulan Wang Amanah Pelajar Miskin, and Rancangan Makanan Tambahan offer financial aid and nutritional support. The Cerdik program has also improved digital infrastructure in rural areas, enhancing access to education. But the responsibility doesn't lie with the government alone. NGOs like Teach for Malaysia and My Readers are working to close literacy gaps, while international organizations such as UNESCO and UNICEF support policy development. Local communities are also stepping up by creating informal schools in undeserved areas. So in conclusion, achieving fair education requires a collective effort. Schools must foster inclusive environments that respect diversity and support students' emotional well-being. By responding with empathy and strategic action, Malaysia can build an education system that truly empowers every child. That's